With Laurie Sawyer. She is the quality manager at Goodleaf Farms. Thanks for joining me today, Laurie.
No problem. My pleasure.
Awesome. Well, it's Friday evening, so I appreciate you being flexible and making this happen. I know everybody's got some plans. Hopefully, you're looking forward to the weekend. The weather's not the greatest right now, but hopefully that will turn around.
Absolutely. I have no big plans for the weekend, just hoping to relax and maybe even put up the Christmas lights on the house.
Nice. Get at it a little early.
Oh
Awesome.
yeah, before it starts to snow.
Well, Laurie, as one of our, I guess, long-standing board of directors, you've been with the OFPA now for how long?
Oh goodness. I've only been on the board of directors for probably about just going. Sorry about that.
Not a problem.
But yeah, I've been with the OFPA for quite a long time and been a member and enjoyed all the events and all the learnings and all the networking and of course all the I've always liked the fall network. That was always the fall meetings always my favorite one to get networked and connected and see all the new best practices for industry and new software that's out there to help with food safety, food security, food defense, all that fun stuff. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it this year, that's for sure.
Oh, I can't wait for that. Again, that's
Good to see everyone again.
Yeah, that's November 18th at the
Shameless plug.
right?
Yes, please. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, it's gonna be fantastic. And I just wanted to say that that's at the what is the NBC Grand Convention Center on November 18th, 2021. So yeah, I look forward to seeing you there.
Oh yes.
It's going to be fantastic. Laurie, with Goodleaf now, I've known you for I don't know how many years, just because time flies, and with COVID and everything, it feels like we've kind of been in a little bit of a limbo. But yeah, it's been a few years now, and you've recently made the transition to the QA manager at Goodleaf Farms. What exactly is involved in your role there at Goodleaf Farms on a day to day?
Goodleaf Farms is a new commodity to Canada. It's a vertical farming operation. So what they do is farming sustainably. We produce different microgreens and baby greens. My favorite part of the job is the sensory evaluation. I get to eat all the products on the daily, every day, fresh greens every single day.
Nice.
It is nice. I could bring in my lunch. Like today, I brought in homemade stew, and then I get some of our microgreens or spicy melody mix. I put that on top, and just gives you that very nutrient dense nutrition kick that I need, right, to help you get through the day. But yeah, on the day to day, it's a great. We're very food safety oriented, and we keep trying to make sure that the big thing with produce is there's always potential recalls. You see them all the time. Like romaine lettuce is being tested at the border right now. It's brutal. Like Canada's going to be without fresh veggies if this keeps up. So what we're hoping to do is, if we're growing them locally all year round, we don't have to transport in all these different greens from all over the U.S. We could just grow them locally here in our own community. So we want to make sure that community stays safe and doesn't get sick from our product, clearly. So we do pathogen testing on every single crop that we produce to ensure that it's a safe product going out to the customer.
Nice. And with you having this contained growing environment compared to conventional methodologies, would you say there's a significant cost savings because you're controlling everything, or the labor has been decreased, or is it more just, hey, this is a new way to do it, but the reason is because the old way is not working well and we can control everything better and it's a better, safer product?
Yeah, we're not, praying for rain or praying for sunshine. We control all the elements inside of our grow chamber.
That's
Um, like even with the air movement in the room is one thing that we're very concentrated on, and the light spectrum that we use, and it's all great. I go on and on and on, but I tell people just go to the website, just look up Goodleaf Farms, and
Goodleaf Farms
you'll
website.
see the
Perfect.
pictures, you'll see the inside, and yeah, we have a great horticulture team there as well. They they've they're creating every day, and then I get to taste it every day, and we do evaluations on the. Like I wouldn't believe how much it goes into the growing of our food, and to be able to control it all in the perfect conditions that we have in our grow chamber, it's it's astounding just how quickly we can grow a crop. So
Oh,
what would
it,
take
it sounds
weeks and
futuristic
weeks?
to me.
Yeah,
It
we
does.
grow entire yeah we grow an entire crop in like 21 days, and then our micros are grown in 8 days. And so there's always a fresh turnover. So we're always harvesting every day. We're harvesting 3 to 5 crops.
That's fantastic. I got a little glimpse when I visited the Guelph facility, but we couldn't see it all. It was very new at that time, so I hope
You can
to see it again.
oh there's great information on we've had quite a few videos on YouTube as well, and on the insider with President's Choice. So there's great things out there that we're doing. We're hoping to grow further into other provinces and just keep showing how vertical farming is done in Canada.
Awesome. So, Lori, this fascination with obviously food safety and safe food. How did you get into the industry? Where did this kind of start for you?
For me, it started. I was first went to school to be a chef because I was a foodie. I love cooking, everything to do about cooking. I went to school and I got my diploma in hospitality management, and I took a lot of cooking as well, and chef papers and so forth. And after being in the industry for a long time and seeing what the health inspectors were doing and seeing what was being done in the kitchens, I was like, wow, I need to help people, because they're going to kill somebody with how poor these kitchens are run, or how poor the cleaning's getting done in just like the kitchen. So I was like, oh, I'll go back to school to be a health inspector or something to do with food safety. So I ended up going into a program at Durham College for a advanced diploma in applied sciences for food and pharmaceutical technology. So it's a 3-year program. I'm part of the alumni, and I just was fascinated with the science there is in the food processing industry. No, I don't have a university degree. I have just my diploma, and that's what's taken me as far as I am today.
Hey,
So
that's
even if you're
fantastic
just like
because
I always say, you go to university for the experience, you go to university for a piece of paper, but you go to college to get a job.
yep.
So I got a lot of hands-on experience, but then it doesn't really prepare you for the industry, right?
Hey, it's a
So
learning curve no matter what you get thrown into.
like
Um,
I always say, there's things that you do, and then there's things that you do. so, so, but so things that you learn in school, you're like, oh yeah, okay, that's HACCP, that's FSEP, CFIA, okay. And then when you get into it, like I was lucky, I started off in Peterborough with Quaker, and I learned a lot because they do a lot of micro, a lot of food testing, and I really love working at that facility in Peterborough. But it was just a QA lab entry position, and of course, being hungry for what I am, I'm hungry for more.
yeah.
I got a great job with Maple Leaf Foods. I'm out in Saskatchewan. They produced just bacon. It was like the perfect job for me. Like all they did was slice bacon, and because they only did slice bacon, I was able to really hone my skills in with HACCP. So I learned a lot about HACCP, a lot about FSEP, a lot about food safety, because all they had was one critical control point, which was one metal detector at the time, right? Because it's like there's no kill step because it's bacon.
Yeah, exactly. It's already so interesting. Wow, it's okay. So
All they
that's
did was smoke the flavor.
yeah.
Yeah, they took me, and then it was such a great learning experience, and that's what gave me the flavor for, oh my gosh, this is what I need to be doing.
That's fantastic, and I love to hear the success stories and what you've done today because there's so many different paths that
Yeah.
somebody can take, but it really just shows that the drive, the ambition, and the just wanting to always learn more. is
Oh
what's
yeah.
have set you apart. Because I was gonna say, if you had one piece of advice, what would that be for somebody joining, the food industry, food science, whatever it may be at this time right now, that you would say that contributed to your success? And I'm almost certain I could almost say it for you, but I'd like to hear it out of your mouth. What do you think was your
There's a few
determining
things,
factor?
but for me, it was take that leap of faith and go out of province, go out of country, or go and experience the world. And even if it's just for a contract, like for me going out to Saskatchewan, it was, um, or when I went to Quaker. Quaker was only supposed to be a 1 year contract because I was covering a maternity leave. But you know what? It got me great experience. And then there's other contracts out there. Like even if people are like, oh, it's only for a year, but yeah, it's great exposure, it's great experience. Same with me going to out to Saskatchewan. Same thing. Took a leap of faith. I took everything I had and just went over to Saskatchewan with my husband, and we had a great time out there. But again, it was after a year. Um, all they did was slice bacon, and then once I rewrote their entire program with the help of course, other people at the facility, there wasn't much to keep me there anymore. So then you got to find what you want to do. Like took me a few turns. Like I did meat processing, I did confectionery, I did baking. I love baking. Baking was awesome. I love working at the bakery in Brampton. I met a lot of great people, made great networks. Tons.
Yeah.
Such
I've
bakery.
never seen so many
Amazing.
McDonald's and buns in my
Oh,
life.
I love that job. It was such a good position. But again, after 3 years of being there, we went from we became the global target holders for McDonald's for all the world. So if you wanted to make the perfect bun, you had to come to us, and we would show you how to make it. And they won the food safety award, which has never been given to a bakery before. Like they did great stuff at Sun's Bakery. Very proud of that, being part of that team.
Mm-hmm.
But again, like I said, I got to keep interested, right? So after when I had the opportunity to go to Goodleaf Farm or with Goodleaf Farms, it was just such a new commodity. It was something completely different and outside of my box, right? Like I've always been a meat processing person, right? And then going out of my comfort zone and going into baking, and then going even further out of my comfort zone to be in farming now. It just you don't learn unless you change. So I think that's what I want to tell people is like if you need to learn, you need to go and change something.
Hey, that is amazing advice because out of everybody I've talked to, you have definitely chosen a different path with the risks, with the experiences, and it's really refreshing actually to hear that. I've also switched a lot as well in my past, and I think some of the things that stop us all the time is that fear of the unknown. Is it going to be greener on the other side? And it sounds like you don't look back. You
It's
just
very green where I am.
exactly. And
Lots of greens.
and you've definitely made the best out of it. So that's
Yeah.
awesome. And it shows how well you're overcoming challenges. And it's a great segue for my next question for you because right now we're going through something that is just unprecedented. COVID is affecting everybody. And people are always wondering, exactly, how COVID has affected you in your professional life and how it's affected the company in general. And everyone wants to know what challenges you've kind of been facing, and if you can share, depending on how you've overcome some.
Well, when COVID came onto Goodleaf Farms, and like I had just started, I started in November 2019, and we were only producing like very small amounts, like very little. We were just still learning the process, the automation, and the growing and things like that, and germination and things like that. But to be honest, during COVID, we made huge advancements in the farm. There was a need for the supply. The supply chain was broken with COVID, and we were one of the lucky ones that saw that need, and we were able to fill it when the stores were screaming for produce because they can't get it from across the border. And of course, it was winter time when everything got shut down. We were there, and we ramped up production, to be honest, during COVID. We were adding SKUs, we were adding different products, we were nose to the grindstone type of thing, right? It wasn't like, and we had to do it with a skeleton crew because people were afraid. A lot of people were afraid to come into work. They're afraid of COVID. We had to segregate employees to make sure that they weren't, because before, if there's overtime, you took it. Well, now we couldn't do overtime because we had to keep team A and team B separate. Because if there was any cross cohorting, then if there was a COVID positive, then we were in really deep problems. So, like, who's going to harvest the crop? We would lose an entire grow room. Yeah. And losing the entire grow room would be devastating. So we had to take really strong measures for our employees. We put in segregation policies, increased cleaning. Of course, as you know, during COVID, everyone was having a scramble trying to find cleaning chemicals, and there was a shortage and big demand for that. So we are actually able to, we diversified our sanitation needs. We honed in on our cleaning skills, and we found some great new partners because our regular partners weren't able to supply us at the time because of COVID and the need for the sanitizers, foam, cleaning supplies. Luckily, we had quite a lot in stock. So we weren't like too hurting. We had a lot in our chemical gauge. We made like I said, everything happens for a reason, Brett. So we made a mistake ordering.
Oh, no.
And we're like, are you serious? Look at we have so much chemical, where we're going to store it all. We're going to store it at the warehouse or something like that. And we're like, oh, well, I guess it was kind of a good thing. And so, like I said, everything happens for a reason in my eyes. But same thing with the toilet paper. We ordered too much toilet paper at work because, like, I don't know, a typo or something happened. I'm like, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Don't send it back. Don't send it back.
Yeah.
Don't send back the toilet paper. Don't send back any of the extra chemical. We're going to need it. So, but I think that's what happened most for us is we were able to diversify our own current supply chain for us, like people who supplied us. Mm-hmm. But really, we were ramping up production during this time with vertical farming, and I think you'll see that a lot happening in Canada is being able to have fresh greens all year round. So I just see it getting more and more business for this kind of industry.
It's fantastic because there's just so many.
So fascinating.
So many variables are eliminated because I'm assuming that, you're getting to control the soil and everything like that. And a lot of the times just where your produce is coming from can have such an adverse effect on the next processing step for a lot of our local produce processors who aren't actually the growers, where you guys control the whole process from.
You don't use any pesticides, no herbicides. Those things aren't required when you're growing indoors, right? And under such tight security for the grow room, right? So not many people could get in and out of there. So we keep it very closed all the time. No pesticides, no herbicides required, and it's just fresh greens all year round.
That's amazing. And do you?
And I sound like a commercial for Goodleaf. They're sustainable. Come buy our stuff. But I think this has definitely been one of the more challenging positions I've ever held. And I think that's why they're going to always keep me because I'm always going to, like this is definitely one of the more challenging positions I've ever had because it's a brand new commodity in Canada. Health Canada doesn't know where to classify us quite yet. SQF has done a good job on classifying us. They have a whole food safety code designated for us indoor growers. But we don't know if we're under the Ministry of Farm and Rural Affairs, like OMAFRA, or are we under CFIA because we're manufacturers, or like we're not quite sure where we're supposed to be. I think we're OMAFRA. I think when people ask me what I do, I tell them I'm a farmer. We're more like renegade farmers, but we're still farmers.
Yeah, it's curious. I have a mushroom farm, and I know that they have their audits and stuff like that, but I'd be curious to see what they fall under as well, because they're growing it and then they're actually packaging and everything else to to that extent. So
Yeah, I know.
definitely it seems like the regulations are not as severe as obviously a ready to eat meat plant or something, but it's still very, very
Oh, under
controlled.
SQF they are though. We're tight. Like we can't even get Canada GAP certification because we grow microgreens and it's a high risk commodity. So that's why we have to be under SQF codes so we don't go under Canada GAP.
That makes sense. And again, because well, with the recent, it's not helping the situation at all. So
I
no,
know.
yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. Awesome. Well, no, it was like I said, awesome to kind of hear about your history, your role, and you're a brand ambassador for the farm here. Um, and I think we've gotten kind of get a whole deep dive on exactly what's going on at Goodleaf. Is there anything else that you'd want to share with the viewers today with regards to your role, what you're doing, anything role specific? I know you've covered the farm real well, so like I said, I appreciate you being so open and sharing everything with us. Is there anything else you wanted to add?
Just to let everyone just enjoy the people that you work with because if they don't value you, someone else will. So I know that when I've been at other facilities, I've always loved the people I've worked with, every one of them. They become family because you see them more than your own family.
Great.
You know what I mean? I spend more time with one of my employees. Her name's Nicole. She's going to laugh when she does, but I spend more time with her than I do with my whole family. And she's great. But that's true. I spend more time with them, and I feel like they're family as well. So just remember to always treat the people that you work with respectfully, and because again, you're with these people every day, and you do rely on them. So be sure to treat everyone with respect. I think that's what I'll have to take away with, because with COVID, things have been pretty muffled, and people are angry and maybe not be in the right ego state, or their emotional intelligence is on the edge, and sometimes you got to talk them off that edge, and so just be a little bit more understanding, and I think that we'll all get through this together.
Hey, couldn't have said it better myself. I'm so good at waiting in lines now, you wouldn't believe it. Before I would see a lineup and go, oh, it's terrible. But now I just fall into place because it's like a new reality.
It's like, what are you going to do? What can you do? Why you can't let it anger you? It's your own perception of the situation, right? So if you change your perception, then you're all right.
100%.
Like I used to get always mad.
Yeah.
Why get mad?
Don't sweat the small stuff is what I always heard, or don't get mad
Oh,
at
that's a good
something that
one.
you can't control because you're only getting wound up for yourself because nothing's going to change.
Exactly. It only hurts yourself in the long run.
Well, awesome. Thank you so much, Laurie. Again, everyone, join us at the 2021 Fall Food Safety Symposium in our annual general meeting. That's going to be November 18th at 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. at the Embassy Grand Convention Center in Brampton, Ontario. Thanks so much again, Laurie, for this opportunity. It was great chatting with you, learning about your involvement in the OFPA, as well as, your food safety career and what you've done. You've definitely chosen, and actually you're a pathfinder. You've made your own paths. You have done it in a different way. You've taken, wow, a lot of risks. And it's because, you're kind of like, I guess it was a picture when I was in a meeting the one time, and it was a bird and a branch, and it said a bird doesn't care about the branch that it lands on because it trusts its wings.
Yep.
That is you right there. So and I think that
trust the wings.
Yeah, exactly. You trust your wings, whatever branch you land on, you're going to be successful. And you could definitely tell you're passionate about everything you do. So thank you again for taking this time with us today. And I look forward to seeing you at the meeting. And I look forward to chatting with you on future podcasts.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Brett.
Thank you. You have yourself a great night and you take care.